Ever heard someone say, that's a Ponzi scheme? And you just nodded along like you knew exactly what they meant. Or maybe you picture a pyramid because, hey, scams and pyramids go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? Well, not exactly. Ponzi schemes are like the cooler, sneakier cousin of a pyramid schemes. Slick promises, big payouts, and eventually someone's left holding the bag. Here's the thing, while pyramid schemes sell the dream, Ponzi schemes sell the illusion. And don't think they're ancient history either. From sketchy crypto coins to their cousin's once-in-a-lifetime business opportunity, Ponzi schemes are still alive and fooling people every day. Today, we're breaking it all down. What Ponzi schemes are, how they work, and how a guy named Charles Ponzi managed to scam his way into history. Spoiler alert, math, trust, and a whole lot of greed were involved. Alright, before we dive into the wild world of Ponzi schemes, hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe because, unlike a Ponzi scheme, supporting this channel is totally risk-free and pays off in quality content. Alright, let's break this down. A Ponzi scheme is like a magic trick, but instead of pulling a rabbit out of the hat, the scammer is pulling money from your pocket. Here's how it works. They promise you something irresistible, guaranteed high returns, no risk, and of course it's an exclusive opportunity. Sounds good, right? But here's the catch. It's all an illusion. Imagine this. I tell you, give me $100 and I'll give you a 20% return in just 1 month. Risk-free. You give me the money and I actually pay you $120 a month later. Seems legit, right? Well, here's the thing. I didn't make any money investing your $100. I just used the $100 from the next person I convinced to join my scheme. And to pay them, I need even more people to jump on board. The whole system depends on steady flow of new investors. As long as the money keeps coming in, I can keep the scam alive. But the moment people stop joining, or the scam gets too big to sustain, the whole thing collapses like the house of cards. And who loses out? Everyone except the person running the scheme. Here's how you can spot one. These scams almost always promise returns that are too good to be true. Why? Because they are. They'll avoid explaining exactly how they make money, maybe claiming it's a proprietary strategy, and they'll pressure you to get your friends and family involved because, let's face it, the scam only survives if more people keep throwing money into it. And where does the name come from? A guy named Charles Ponzi who pulled out one of the biggest financial scams in the 1920s, but trust me, he wasn't the first, and he definitely wasn't the last. Alright, let's talk about the man himself, Charles Ponzi. You think he was some financial genius to have a scam named after him, right? Well, not exactly. Charles Ponzi was an Italian immigrant who came to the US in the early 1900s with big dreams, but not a lot of money. Like many immigrants at the time, he wanted to make it big in America, and well, he did, just not in the way you'd hope. It all started with something surprisingly simple, postage stamps. Back in the day, international flight coupons were used to prepay for postage across countries. Ponzi realized that due to the currency fluctuations after World War I, you could buy these coupons cheaply in Europe and redeem them for higher value in the US. Sounds like a solid arbitrage opportunity, right? Here's the twist. Ponzi didn't actually make much money flipping postage stamps. Instead, he started convincing investors to give him their money, promising returns of 50% in just 45 days, or 100% in 90 days. And people bought it. Why wouldn't they? It sounded like a brilliant idea. Word spread like wildfire. By 1920s, Ponzi was racking in millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands every day. People literally mortgaging their homes to invest with him. But of course, he wasn't actually buying postage coupons anymore. He was just taking money from new investors to pay the old ones. As you can imagine, it didn't last. The scheme grew too big to sustain, and when the investigators started digging into Ponzi finances, the truth unraveled. By the end of it, Ponzi owed his investors over $7 million, an astronomical sum at that time. He was arrested, convicted, and spent years in prison. But here's the twist. Even after all that, Ponzi wasn't done. He went on to pull smaller scams in different countries before eventually dying penniless in Brazil. And while he didn't invent this kind of scheme, his name became forever tied to it. Now, you might be thinking, that was 1920s. Surely we're smarter now, right? Well, not exactly. Ponzi schemes have evolved, and they're still fooling people all over the world. Today's Ponzi schemes come in all shapes and sizes. Investment funds, real estate opportunities, even flashy cryptocurrency projects. The scammers might not be selling postage stamps anymore, but the playbook hasn't changed much. It's still all about promising big returns with no risk. If someone promises you 20% monthly returns, guaranteed, you should hear the alarm bells. Real investments just don't work that way. Every legitimate investment carries some level of risk. If they claim otherwise, they're lying. If they can't explain how your money will grow, or it sounds overly complicated, walk away. If they ask you to bring your friends and family, it's probably because they need new money to keep the scheme alive. Markets go up and down. If they're claiming otherwise, something's fishy. Take Bernie Madoff, who ran the biggest Ponzi scheme in history. He scammed investors out of $65 billion by convincing them he had a foolproof strategy. Or the explosion of crypto scams recently, where people promise sky-high returns on coins no one's ever heard of. The name changed, but the scam stays the same. So, how do you avoid falling into the trap? First, do your research. Look up the person or company offering the investment. Second, if it sounds too good to be true, remember, it probably is. And third, trust your gut. If something feels off, don't ignore that instinct. If someone says you'll make millions overnight, they might be as well selling you a beachfront property on the moon. At the end of the day, Charles Ponzi might be long gone, but his scam lives on, just dressed up in new clothes. The best defense is knowing what to look for and staying informed. So, what have I learned today? A Ponzi scheme isn't just a scam, it's a carefully crafted illusion. From Charles Ponzi postage stamp hustle to modern-day crypto cons, the tactics haven't changed much. They all rely on trust, greed, and a steady stream of new money to keep the show going. The most important lesson, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And scammers know how to make their pitch irresistible. Big returns, no risk, and promise of financial freedom. But remember, behind every shiny promise is a simple question. Where's the money actually coming from? Whether it's the Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme, or the latest too good to be true investment opportunity, it's all about staying informed and asking the right questions. Scammers count on people not looking too closely, so don't give them that chance. Have you ever encountered a sketchy investment pitch or know someone who fell for a scam? Share your story in the comments below. I love to hear it. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps more people learn how to protect themselves, and it helps us keep exploring all things American. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.